Okay, on to this big story happening in the White Mountains here. This is one of the most followed and watched story lines around the nation. Prominent California farmer is now behind bars here in Arizona, accused of killing his estranged wife in what investigators believe was a carefully planned cross-state crime tied to a bitter divorce and millions in disputed assets.
Yeah. Michael Abattii, I'm not sure if
Abattii.
Abattii, is charged with first-degree murder in the November 20th, 2025 shooting death of Carrie Anne at her Pinetop, Arizona home. So a lot going on with this case.
And we have this morning, of course, Josh Kolsrud joins us this morning. It's always amazing when you come in to offer your insight. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you know a lot about this case, and I think for folks in the high country, we have some viewers here this morning on FTT up in the White Mountains as well. Her family, the victim's family, has been around in the White Mountains for a long, long time. I believe they have a road named after them. They're like a Pinetop pioneer family.
Sure.
She comes from a big family in the White Mountains. And I think a lot of people are kind of bewildered by what happened.
You know, it's a crazy story because it involves really two prominent families here in Arizona. You have the Abattii family, which is a very prominent and old farming family, and then also the victim's family, who is well known in northern Arizona. And you have allegations that, you know, there was a contentious divorce and a motive to kill. But you also are missing a lot of evidence as well that, the direct evidence. You don't have a confession. You don't have the weapon. But what you do have is circumstantial evidence. You have timestamps where the defendant was driving to Pinetop and back within 24 hours. And that's going to be pivotal in the case going forward to show that he had motive, means, and opportunity.
Yeah, and he's since pleaded not guilty to this.
He has pleaded not guilty, and he's currently in custody on a $5.5 million bond, which he hasn't met yet, but his lawyer has indicated that they intend to post the bond shortly.
You know, the question here is, and some of the reports being released are that they were going through this bitter divorce. He was going to give her a certain amount of money. She asked for more money, and they were in this kind of back and forth, right? And it was there was a big difference between her amount and his.
Yeah, the difference was around $25,000 a month. I think currently she was receiving somewhere around $5,000 to $7,000 a month, if my memory serves me correct. But she was then asking for around $30,000 per month. And again, we don't know if that is, if that's what precipitated the murder in itself, but it does show motive. Now, motive doesn't prove that anybody did it. It just gives a reason why. So prosecutors still have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this person is the one that actually pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
And right now, we don't have the evidence that we need to be able to make that determination.
As far as like the murder weapon, a
murder weapon, a confession, or some other evidence that indicated that he admitted or wrote down that this was his intention.
And what process were they? Obviously, they were already within divorce proceedings, but they were not officially divorced yet. Nothing was set in stone.
Correct.
Okay.
They were legally separated. He was living in a different state, and those terms in the divorce had yet to be decided.
Got it.
You know, interesting, too, the property that her home was on in Pinetop Lakeside, I believe, or Pinetop, it's 14 acres. Large. So it would be difficult, maybe, for anybody to see or hear what could have been happening.
You know, Pinetop, if anybody's been up there, is a remote location in the middle of the forest. It's beautiful. If you haven't been there, I strongly recommend going. But because it's so remote, you're not going to hear those things like you would if this happened in the middle of Phoenix, for example, where, if your next door neighbor is shot, most likely the whole entire neighborhood's going to hear that. But that's not really so in a lot of places in Pinetop.
And where are we at in the case? Where does it stand right now? Obviously, he pleaded not guilty, so where do things go from here?
So we're at the very beginning stages of the case, and the lawyers have indicated that they're going to challenge the bond amount and certainly going to post it. But they had the arraignment, and now they're probably going to have at least 3 or 4 other type of status conferences before a trial will actually happen. Now, if trial does happen, it'll likely happen probably in about a year or so. It usually takes a little longer on these high-profile murder cases, so it's not something that's going to happen very, very soon.
And when they consider maybe the possibility, Josh, of witnesses, I understand maybe the nephew might have been home at the time of the crime, but is he then the only witness, or would you take into account maybe somebody who saw him leaving a house or looking at cameras and freeway cameras and things like that?
Yeah, so you have different types of witnesses that could become relevant. Obviously he would be very relevant if he heard or saw something. But, you're right. Like if somebody else saw his, the defendant's vehicle in that area, that puts him there at a certain time and location. And that could become very relevant if this defendant says that it wasn't me, it was somebody else, or I wasn't there. I wouldn't be surprised in a case like this where he may have an alibi. And just because the vehicle was spotted throughout Arizona going to and from Pinetop doesn't mean that it was him. It could have been somebody else.
Yeah.
So putting him at the crime scene for the prosecutors is going to be really important.
Yeah, it is. Josh, it's so great to see you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your thoughts on this case.
Thank
We
you.
so appreciate. Yeah, big case here, folks.